Hello, my wonderful AJR fans out there. In this video, I'm going to be doing a tier list of Neotheater. So how this is going to work is I'm going to go through the entire album, starting with the first song, going all the way to the last, and ranking them based on S being the best or D being the worst. And as I go through this album, I would definitely encourage you to hear what I have to say about each song. So don't just skip through this video to see how I ranked them, because there are some songs that I absolutely love but may rank a little lower than normal for specific reasons. Also, how I'm ranking these songs is based on how I feel right now, and tomorrow could be totally different. So just don't take it too personally if I rank one of your favorite songs a little lower than you expected. And the very last thing, if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the channel. I absolutely love to make AJR content just like this, so you won't be disappointed by subscribing to the channel right now. And without further ado, let's get started with this tier list. All right, so starting off with our first song, we have Next Up Forever. Now, this song is a very good intro track, in my opinion. It just sets up the tone for the entire album. Now, as I'm listening to this song, it is specifically, as a musician, super relatable, especially when it says the line, something like, can we push this back another week, this album back another week? And it just reminds me of, wanting to be perfect in what you're releasing. It very much is like a statement, when it says, someday they'll be talking about me, but right now, they're just walking by me. And I absolutely love how this song is just so humbling. It also is just super theatrical, which AJR does an amazing job of doing in their songs. It's just making it sound so extraordinary. And with a lot of discussion recently about the new album TMM, I think this song is a perfect example of what I expect that album to be like. But as far as where I'm going to rank Next Up Forever, I think I'm going to put it as a B, which sounds a little bit low, especially for how I was just talking it up. But I'm going to put it as a B because it's not necessarily a song that I will actively seek out. I'm not going to be in a car and just want to listen to this song, but it is great for what it is as that intro track. Next is Birthday Party, and I love this song because it's just so fun and quirky, and it just, I remember listening to the breakdown of the song and just hearing all the instruments and all the samples they use for it, and just really a really interesting song. And it's funny because I see myself just quoting this song out of context, but yeah, I really do like this song, and I like how it's just sarcastically naive. And I think I'm gonna put this as a B as well. It's at the same level as Next Up Forever for me, but I do like it just a little bit more. I was a little surprised that I didn't put this quite as an A, but I think compared to the other songs on this album that we're going to get to, I think B is perfect for where I want to put this. And then there's 100 Bad Days. Now, this song for me is definitely one of my favorite AJR songs. I love all the instruments they use in it, the radio choir, the horns, the use of clapping, and it's just the way it's able to go from these quiet moments to these extraordinarily loud and just anthemic parts in this song is just incredible. I think the message in this song is also just super relatable, which of course AJR does a great job at doing, just being so relatable with their songs. And I think it sets the tone for who AJR is. When I want to show somebody an AJR song, I'm like, listen to this. This is what you should expect. Also, typically when it comes to songs, I'm super picky about bridges, and I absolutely love this bridge. It's short, sweet, and to the point, and I think it's a perfect fitting for the song. And with all that being said, I think I'm gonna put this as an S. Like I said, it's one of my favorite songs, and it never stops being entertaining, and I just love it so much. And then we have Don't Throw Out My Legos, which is a fun, quirky, kind of deep message song. And I think even from the opening of the song with all those cluster of noises, it just shows how incredible the production for this song is. And this song being one of my favorite songs, actually probably my favorite song that they perform, I absolutely have to give this an S tier. I know we're starting off super strong with those two in the S tier, and I'm not sure exactly how many I'm going to put there, but I think these two definitely deserve to be there. All right, next we have Break My Face. So with this song, it is just a really good jam. You know, I could just put this on and then just nod my head to it, right? And I think this one is good enough, but it doesn't quite stand out as much as the last two I mentioned. So I'm gonna put this as an A. Things with like the horn part in the beginning are just so good at catching your attention. And for that, I think it does deserve a lot of praise in putting it as an A, but I don't think it deserves any less or more. So I think it's a perfect spot there. Next, we have Turning Out Part 2. So with this song, I think one thing that makes this song super incredible is that melody at the beginning where it's like, I think I probably wasn't in love with you. Like, that's just so haunting to me. And every time I listen to the song, I do get that feeling, and it's just super emotional and relatable, like I've said before. And I think when I listen to this whole album, which typically I feel like is how I listen to these songs, is just a full rundown, you know, like when I'm driving the car or something, I really do feel this song, but I don't really listen to the song just by itself all too often. And I think it does deserve to be a good grade here as an A, but I don't think it deserves to be any better or less. I think that's a good spot for that. I think it's on the lower end of an A just because it's not a normal song, I guess, but it is a masterpiece of its own. Next up, we have the entertainments here, and it's funny because with every album, or at least almost every album, I feel like there's that one song that I super appreciate that isn't necessarily like the most popular song. And with this album, that has to be the entertainments here. I think I'm gonna put this as an A just because I love it so much. It's such a jam, especially when those horns come at the post-chorus, and it's such a feel-good song. And it's also just a song that I feel like is different for AJR. Like, it's got this kind of like glitch hop kind of vibe to it, which you don't see very often in AJR, and I just really appreciate it for being unique. Next, we have Karma, and with this one, I feel like a lot of times I forget about this song, and it just like, I don't know, it doesn't have the ability to really stand out on the album for me. And I think my biggest issue with this song is that it doesn't really go much anywhere in the song. It kind of just stays at the same level, you know? And the most of a beat you really get on this song is like 4 on the Floor, which can be used in certain ways to make a song exciting, but it just doesn't do it really for me. And for those reasons, I think I'm gonna put this as a C. I really didn't know if I was gonna expect to put anything at a C in this, but I think Karma for me just kind of sits right there. Wasn't super impressed with it, but I don't really have to talk about it much more. I think that's just how I feel about it. Next up, we have Beats. And with this song, I do appreciate it for its sarcasm. I really like the line that talks about them playing in the grocery store and how it's like they're getting there, but they're not quite satisfied with themselves in a way. So I do appreciate it for that, but I honestly don't really listen to this song too much. And I know some people really love this song, but I think I'm gonna put this at a C again. I know we just had Karma in the C range, but I think I do like this a little bit more than Karma, but that's just where I feel Beats sits for me right now. And then we have Wow, I'm Not Crazy, which is one of those songs that I do forget about, but when I'm listening to the full album and I come across the song, it's not one that I'm like, oh yeah, it's that song. It's more of a fun, good vibe. And it's definitely like a summer vibe for me. And I would put this on, just when I'm feeling this song. So for those reasons, I think I'm gonna put it as a B. I think some days I do like this a little bit more, but that's kind of where I'm feeling this right now. And then we have the beloved song, Dear Winter. With this song, I feel, oh man, so many different emotions. I feel like this song is kind of like one of those gateway songs to AJR where a lot of people hear this song first. And it's interesting because this song isn't necessarily what their whole style is. It's kind of like the song I Will Follow You Into the Dark by Death Cab for Cutie. Like, most people know them from that song, but that's not their style really when you listen to their full albums. But I think this one is going to be an A. I actually think I'm going to put this as a very high A above the rest of these, just because it's such a heartfelt song, and it just is so beautiful. And one thing I absolutely love about this and super appreciate is that low line that has the chromatic ascending and descending there. It's just super pleasing to hear. So yeah, definitely one of my favorites, and I just love the positioning on this being one of the last songs on the album. I think it is a perfect way to end the album. And then lastly, we have Finale. Now with this song, I think it's like fine as a song, but it doesn't really stand out to me. It doesn't have anything that's super engaging or making me want to listen to this song or actively seek it out. And for those reasons, I'm just going to put this as a C. I don't really have to talk about it too much. I think it does a good job of closing it, putting a bookend to the album, because it uses those choral parts that we heard in the beginning, and it just uses them again here. So I think it's an okay song, but it's not one that really stands out to me. So there you have it. That is how I have ranked these songs, but I'm not done yet. I'm going to go through these and kind of rearrange them now that I have gone through the full album. So let's kind of just look at this, starting with S. We have 100 Bad Days and Don't Throw Out My Legos. I feel like 100 Bad Days I like a little bit better than Don't Throw Out My Legos. That's perfectly fine. Both of those absolutely belong in the S tier. We have in A tier, Dear Winter, Break My Face, Turning Out, Entertainment's Here. I feel like I'm going to put Entertainment's Here there and Turning Out there, just like that. I feel like Entertainment's Here, again, is the gem for the album for me. I just love it so much, and it's a little underrated in my opinion, but it is just so unique in its way. Dear Winter, of course, we just went over. Turning Out Part 2 and Break My Face, all great songs. Then in the B range, we have A Birthday Party, Next Up Forever, Wow, I'm Not Crazy. I feel like those in that order are exactly how I feel. And then finally, C, we have Beats, Karma, and Finale. Again, exactly how I feel in that order. Actually, one last change I'm going to do is have Wow, I'm Not Crazy before Next Up Forever. Actually, one last change as I'm looking at this, I'm going to put Dear Winter as first in the A tier, just because it really is a great song. And that, my friends, is the tier list of all the songs on Neotheater. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a thumbs up below and comment letting me know your thoughts. And if you haven't done so yet, definitely subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I love to make AJR content. And with this new album coming out soon, you definitely don't want to miss the news and updates regarding that. But thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Bye.